What if your sketchbook can be as inspiring as your paintings? I'm Catherine. I'm a paint maker and YouTuber. I have a lot of videos on my channel where I show how I make my handmade watercolors. I also have tutorials on how I make sketchbooks for travel purposes. I made this Khadi journal, which has a hardcover with a canvas fabric. It has deckled edges. It is 100% cotton paper. Although the pages are almost 360 GSM, you can still lay them open flat. I have also provided accent sheets in the middle, which will really look pretty when you take pictures of your painting, like you have a painting and a handmade sheet in between. Really elevates your style. I'll show you exactly how I made this journal and share every detail of the process. So if you're interested in making your own unique hand-bound journal, let's dive right in. I'm making this one using Khadi papers, and which are of A5 size, but I folded them into signatures, so they are like A6 size now. I did not want to go for an exposed sewing. I need some protection for the sketchbook, so I decided to go for a hardcover sketchbook without compromising on the flat lay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew the text block with a coptic stitch binding, but instead of the covers I'm going to use sewing with the end papers here. So far what I have done is I made a little template. I punched holes into the signatures and into the end papers. So now let's start by getting a thread and needle. I'm using a waxed thread here, and I'm using a thin one to avoid spine swell. Put the thread into the eye of the needle and then go through the waxed thread. Anyways, yeah, I think I found a place. Okay, so it goes in through it. You can bring it to the end of the needle and hold it together, hold both the threads together, and now pull it apart. So it sort of is, it goes snug on the end of the needle. I have 10 signatures here. Okay, now we can just flip it over, go through the last station, the last sewing station, and come out through the last end of this one, and leave a little bit of thread on the end. We will take the next one. We would go into the first sewing station and come out through the next. We are going back into the end page, and here there's this long string of thread right here. We'll come out one way and cross over and go back into the same hole. We'll go back into the the hole of the watercolor paper, and we'll do the same in the next place. We'll do the same stitch again, come out, we'll go back into the end papers, so signature, and there's a long thread, cross over it and go out through the same. Now we are going back into the signature. Okay, now we are going back out. This is the last station. We have a thread hanging out here from the end page. We're gonna tie a knot here. We'll take the next, go back in, out through the next. There's the previous stitch that we made here. We are going to go around that one and then go back into the same sewing station. That's our first coptic stitch. Same thing, go back into the next sewing station. Okay, now go around the previous stitch and go back in. back out through the next one. Here we will do a kettle stitch or a neck stitch. Go under the loop around the previous stitch, and then when you get this little loop, go through it and pull up. Yeah, and that's it. Let's go back up into the first sewing station, come out through the next, and then we'll do the same coptic stitch again. We go under the previous signatures stitch and go back in. We'll do another coptic stitch, go under the previous stitch and go back out. And go out through the next last one. Here again we'll do a link stitch where we go under the previous loop, and when you have this little thing here, little loop here, just go back and upwards, pull it upwards. So sometimes before you go into the next signature, you can just pull the stitches a little bit so that it's nice and tight. And then we'll repeat the same thing for the next few signatures. And there we have it. They do lay flat. Now next step would be to reinforce the spine and then work on the cover boards. I have placed the text block inside the book press, apply some glue and place a cheesecloth, and then apply some more, and that is it. You do not want the glue to seep in a lot, because when the glue goes in, again it affects the flat laying ability of it. Keep it this way. It's good. Before we cut the cover board, we'll quickly measure. The width is 10.7 and I would add a 3 mm overhang over here. For the height, it is 15.2. I will be adding 3 mm here and 3 mm overhang here. It is 2.6. Cover board that I have is 2 mm thick, so I will add 2 mm and 2 mm here. I would need a spine width of 3 centimeters. I have a 3 centimeter width just for reference, just to see how it will look, but I will not be attaching a cover board spine. I'm gonna do a soft spine on this one so that it opens flat this way. So if there's a cover board on the spine, it would not open flat. I'm gonna go for a soft spine. This is the book cloth I will be using. I mean, it's a regular fabric. You can turn it into a book cloth with an interfacing. I have talked more about this on another video. I would place a ruler, and the same width is here as well, and then place the cover board, and this I had put it for reference, so I could place it here and then place the next cover board here, and then place it up here, place the ruler here and draw a line. So This would be the entire book cloth for this book. I'm gonna cut this down. I have already measured another one for the second book too. First, you could place the text block on the right place here in the spine, then you can paste it all together. Yeah, this is the last step. I'll keep a watercolor paper underneath as a moisture barrier. Take the end papers, attach it to the cover board. If you have a book press, you can place it in the book press right away, or you could keep a heavy book over it. Thank you for joining me today and watching how I made the Khadi watercolor journal. I hope you get to see how it all comes together. If you're interested in my handmade watercolors and sketchbooks, feel free to explore them in my Etsy shop. If you're interested in checking out how I made another sketchbook, feel free to check out this video right here. Thank you for watching.